there's something that I forget as I'm going along. One thing you want to remember on your final coats, okay, and this has got to do with auto body. I don't know about any other painting disciplines. You don't want to go back and forth, up and down, cross-cutting like this, okay? You don't want to do that if you can avoid it. You want to go in one direction. You want to go this way and then this way. A good way of doing it is to break the panel in half right here with your mind and do one side and then come along and do the other side. When you're doing this, always do your edges last. No one is going to see these little places in here or on the bottoms around here, and you can see where I burned through the edges, okay? What the paint is going to reflect is the big flat areas, and when that paint reflects, you're not going to even see these little places. But it's good to get in the habit of not doing your edges, because the edges are like this. Alright, pretend this is sandpaper, okay? And I'm going even pressure around here, okay? Just pretend this is one of your first dates and you're doing some exploratory backseat driving. No? The wife ain't around here. Good. Bitch. Anyway, what you want to do is we're going to get all this nice and smooth, but these edges up here, or here, right here, or on the bottom, let's say if this is nice and flat, you've got so much pressure, no problem. When you start to get on an edge, this is what happens. Okay, all that pressure is put on one area. So you hear that? You're putting a massive amounts of pressure on one little tiny area, and that will rip through that paint or clear coat in a split second. And it'll happen to you a few times before you understand how dangerous the edges are. One of the rules of painting that I'm going to teach you: stay off the damn edges. Leave them alone until the last. Okay? Get all your flat panel parts done. You can do, and if we're going to do this panel, we want to go all the way like this, okay? Leave these areas right here. Leave them alone. We'll do them last. I mean, it's no big deal anyway on these, but you can see where the cracks are. The paint's going to show through there. Big deal. I don't care. We got a little crack there. I mean, I just can't help it. The panels are so old. I can't make it look totally perfect. You can't put a facelift on Grandma and make her look like the Bar Raphael. Man, oh, I tell you, that girl. Now that'd be something to come home to, even if she was bitching at you every day and calling you a total loser. Now, I'm not saying that that happens to me, but she can eat crackers in my paint booth any day. So, we want to go this way with the sandpaper, and we take this with our block, or you use your hands, whatever, and you want to go along, okay? The reason that we don't use our hands so much is that your pressure is all on your fingers, like this. Now watch. Okay, do you see where the pressure parts are? Or even if you grab it like this, the pressure it's divided into little areas. It doesn't make for a smooth surface. If you have a sanding block like this, instead of getting 2 or 3 square inches of pressure on the object, you get about 15 square inches. That's why we use a block. You cannot use the block in all cases, such as around places like this. You wait till the end to get places like this, or here, and like I said, your edges. After we do the whole panel, alright? Now, you notice that I didn't take my little white, you can even use white gloves too. Now, an experienced painter will tell you, oh, the guy knows what he's talking about. When you use this, your hands are really, really sensitive. Your fingers are really sensitive. The only way I can explain it is think about, you know, when you were young, and you probably are young, and when you went out with some really good looking girl, and it was a Friday night, and your hands could tell a whole story, and I'm not going to get into it. But just remember what you did and how it felt with your hands. That's what you need to concentrate on with your auto body. What I want you to do is close your eyes, okay? Don't look at the panel. Feel it. Use your palm right here. What is that, Harry? No. It is. Just a joke. And use your finger pads, and then the tips of your fingers, and then the top of your hand right here. What you want to do is we want to go and feel everything. Don't just use your fingers and go like this. That's bullshit. Okay, throw your whole hand into it. Make sure it's clean. You don't have oil and brake fluid and a bunch of crap all over it. But feel. Close your eyes and feel. I can feel a rough spot right there. Okay, and I'll go back and I'll double check it. I want everything to be nice and smooth, and then I'll check my edges. I'll check around here. I'll check down in here. Let your hand, Jesus, it sounds like some cheap porno. Let your hand guide you, Luke. I don't want to get into that. And then you want to stop your sanding and feel. Now it's rough right here. If it's rough, if it feels rough, let's see if you can you hear that? Where it's going shh, 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 shh. Okay, a smooth surface does not do that. When you're running your sandpaper over a smooth surface, okay, listen. Sounds like that. When I use the same sandpaper and run it over an unsanded portion, now listen carefully. Okay, you hear the difference? Even if you have water on here and everything else, your sandpaper, if you listen to it, will tell you if the area is smooth. Our main goal is to get our panels smooth enough to paint. You want to do everything right now. When you paint, you've only got one shot, especially painting a car. If you get a run in a car, tell you what, well, you don't just sand it out and start over. You don't do it. What happens is, at the next day, the owner comes in that owns the shop and says, you don't know what the fuck you're doing, get the hell out of here later. And you're not painting for very long. Painters know what they're doing by practice. We learn by doing, not by watching me on YouTube, but by listening to all the great things that I have to tell you, and for $19.95 I can make you very famous too. Just kidding. Happen to be a comedian. Now, practice running your hands over the panel, whatever it is, after you've done it. Then take a t-shirt cloth, or this is one of those little, I forget what the hell it's called, micro cloth. Do the same thing. Close your eyes, okay, and run it over there and see if the vibrations, that's what it is. It's vibrations from any of the bad spots, and they will come singing right back out at you. Now you may think, well, man, this sounds like a lot of bullshit. Well, let me tell you, any auto body man that's been doing this for years and everything else will tell you that's what we do. All right? And the only reason that some cars are better looking than others is because they spent more time doing it. If you go to any car lot with brand new, beautiful cars, and you get beyond the shine of the car and start looking very closely, you will find runs, scratches, scrapes, bugs. You'll find more bullshit than a truck stop hooker. Next video.